Hey, all right. It is Monday, June 26th, and we are live and alive in Chico Town. What is up? Live and live in the EP. My name is Richie. I'll be your MC and host for today. And as always, welcome to our Monday night online open mic. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, then it's great to have you back. I'm glad you weren't scared away. Uh, if you know, we've been doing this since April of 2020 as an online space, a refuge for people who just want to express themselves, right? Any other open mic, need to vent, try out new material, or give a tribute to anyone's work that you admire, aka the cover poem. This is a place where you are more than welcome to share any of those things. Plus, if you are a musician, we want to hear your music as well. You're a singer-songwriter, you play any instruments. This is a poetry and music open mic. We love having you here. I'm hitting my mic. Anyway, my name is Rich. You can find me on Instagram at Deadwall Reveries. There you can find the link to all my other social media and things that I'm involved with, which is a lot. But if you're tuning in and you're on our YouTube channel right now, there are many ways you can support the show. One is right away clicking on the subscribe button of the YouTube that you are on. When you subscribe, again, the more subscribers we get, it gets pushed out to more people. And that's really best thing for everyone here, because then that means more eyes, more listeners, and hopefully more fans. That's ultimately the goal. If you share the link with people as well, if you like, if you comment, if you participate, right? YouTube likes that and pushes it out to more people. So we want to thank you guys for all of you who've been supporting that way. The best thing of all that stuff is free. You don't have to pay to do any of those actions. So it's one of the easiest things to do. Of course, this is a platform for all the readers, all the performers today. And I will encourage, as always, even though some are here every week and are probably tired of the same old song and dance, but like I always say, you probably have someone listening in for the first time. So I always encourage people to share their websites, their links, their link trees, YouTube channels, whatever you guys got going on, how you can purchase their books. That's the whole point as well. Again, doesn't cost anything to follow someone and share their work on social media, because maybe they'll be pushed to someone who like really loves that person's work, or like they come across a line that saves them somehow, right? Or they fall in love with and inspires them to share their own work. Because for as long as I've been on this world, I know a lot of people who love to like write and create, but some are like really shy about it. Some are like reticent. And all it takes sometimes is a little nudge. And then like, okay, I'm going to share my work. I've seen it happen many, many times. So thanks to the wonderful part of the internet where we get to connect with people from all over the country and all over the world, we're going to be doing just that in our list today. So we're going to be traveling all along the coast, all across the country. And depending if we get more people signing up, sometimes we get to go international even, and that's always a lot of fun. So other than that, all I ask you guys, the audience, you right now are intangible to us. We really don't know who's watching. So something that also lets us know is your participation. So if you are in the live stream right now, you can say hi in the live chat. We got that going over there. And just keep going, comment. If you write in the chat, I will give you shout outs. I'll respond to you the best I can. I'll be sharing links that people share in our Zoom call to the YouTube as well. I mean, if it's for everyone, right? If it's private links, I'm not going to share that. But the other thing is you can also leave a comment. If you're watching this after the live stream and you can't live chat, like leave a comment. Who did you like? What poems did you like? Again, you're going to hear some cover poems. This is a really great opportunity to hear the work of other poets and other writers from all around the world and from different time periods. So I really love all that. The whole point is just to sit back, kick back, relax, enjoy some art and the whole range of human emotion. So without further ado, we're going to go and kick things off here in El Paso with someone who's become a regular, easily you can say that now, who reads at the live mics as well. I'm always just trying to like talk her up to whoever's at the open mics so they can know, like, we want to, as they say these days, give her flowers, right? The respect. She's been published all over the place. She's got a couple collections out. Of course, the most recent one, Flow, winning the Southwest Book Award with a new one on the way very soon in August. We'll be looking forward to the next collection. Let's go ahead and welcome to our online show let's hear it for Robin Schofield. Hey, Robin, what's up?
Hey, Richie. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday night. I do have a book coming out very soon now, and I have a tentative date for a virtual opening, which is on August 26th, and that'll be our time. I think it'll be 3 to 5. So right after Tumblewords. If you're at Tumblewords, then you can just tune into my Zoom thing right after that. And what else have I got going on? I think that's the main thing. I'm going to tease you a little bit, read one out of the new book, which is called Ridge of High Pressure. Very timely for right now. Texas is under a heat dome. We were up to 107 today, I think. This is called Stunned Heat of the Borderlands. White afternoon muffles you like a blanket. If only I could have bottled up that cool April wind. If only the wind could ring like a cold white steeple bell. If only the bell tower built in the 1600s were not so far away over the magical border. If I could walk there, past the bridge with so many people perspiring in the blazing sun. We would die of the heat without shelter. Coyotes spend the days in their dens, children of the desert. When the July monsoon comes, the arroyos will rage with white water. The bell from 1659 still tolls in the moist air. Can you hear it? And then I thought I would read this one that I wrote one summer. I was in Massachusetts and went to the MassMoCA, the Massachusetts Museum of Contemporary Art. And there was a guy doing an exhibit, and his name is James Turrell. And he works with light as a medium. And so this is a poem that gets some of its phrases from the brochure from the museum. Oh yeah, and the guy, he bought a crater in Arizona. He bought a crater and he's doing some light shows there, I hope. Oh yeah, Michael Sindler knows who he is. Yeah, he is. And so this is what I wrote after going to see him. And I should tell you that the scarlet eft is a little creature up there. It's a young salamander that lives in the forest. So this is called Light is the Medium. Golden, spent needle leaves on the floor of the dark hemlock forest. The scarlet eft there, slow-footed, while the speed of light is unfathomable. Green fire moss lit within covers fallen logs, suddenly bereft of light. The velocity of the visible cycles over a razor-thin margin. Only a sliver from deep red running to violet hues perceptible on this pulsing segment of spectrum, spilled blood to blue-handled screwdriver. Energy unfolds a totality, the globe with oceans of crushed opal, or the baseball curving into home plate as light washes and illuminates our world. On emerald gold moss, the young salamander glows, conflating space with light. The lanyard around my neck flashes in the dark hallway, saying my name to all who can see. Silver slivers leak under the doors, my coffee cup of dark reflections, the treasure box of daylight. Light makes volume into space in the sculpture garden as the staff wear lanyards that glint in the sun. Everyone's name a blur in the distance. Spaces of infinite depth, but within them, the yellow-green fireflies, the frequency and amplitude of each one of them. Light is a sculptor's putty knife on the white blinds by the jewels of the globe. Filtered light falls on the not quite dark forest floor, the scarlet eft there in the emerald moss under a topaz sky. So that was like after a walk in the forest and going to see that exhibit. That was really fun. I hope to see the crater one day if he ever opens it. And now I'm going to read one of the sonnets to Orpheus that I translated. And they're by Rainer Maria Rilke. And this is from the first series, and it's number 4. Oh, you lovers, tread softly in the breath that doesn't mean for you to carry it divided on your cheeks. Behind you, it trembles together again. Oh, you holy ones, oh, you whole ones, you who shine in the beginning of hearts. Whoops, the cat's after me. Bows for arrows and targets for arrows, forever polish your smile full of tears. Don't be afraid to suffer the heaviness. Give it back to the earth's burden. Heavy are the mountains, heavy are the seas. Even those you planted as children, the trees, became too heavy long ago. You can't carry them, but the air, but the spaces. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Robin. Appreciate it. And hopefully your workshop went well. The other day I had a whole jazz festival. I couldn't make it, but I was looking forward to hearing of the odes to odes and all that.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. And we look forward to the release. Definitely, as soon as it comes around, we'll share the links as well through BWOMS so people can be so they can check out any of the things you have planned.
Yeah, and for local peeps, I'll have a couple of things around town, and gonna try to arrange with Mouthfeel to get some signed copies to them so you can order. Out of town people can order signed copies. We'll see how it works out.
All right, cool. That
Cool.
will be super fun. Yes, alrighty then. Robin, everyone, is a great way to always kick off the show. And as we often do, we're going to go a little bit north for us, and we're still going to stick around the mountain time zone. We're going to visit Denver and our friend Michael Sindler, who did some cool literary stuff recently. So I see he's energized by it. Mike, happy Monday. Good to see you here.
Happy Monday to you, and happy everything to everybody. It's wonderful. Denver's been really cool lately. I live like right in the heart of town, so Pride Fest has just been everywhere. Just people out in the streets. It's just so nice. Just great positive energy. Just rainbows everywhere. So more power to them. Actually, the state capitol, there was a big rainbow flag on the capitol itself that the legislature put up. But speaking of other things, I'm going to put up lighthousewriters.org, which is another wonderful place, which is accommodating to all in so many ways, and it's just a great resource for writers. I was just there today hanging out. Oh, it was fun. Brought somebody from our global poetry community there. That was extra super special. So I'm going to start off by sharing my screen. Let me try and get this going here. And some of y'all may be familiar with who this is. Actually, I was at lunch in a little place and somebody was wearing a t-shirt with one of his designs. I was like, that's pretty cool. But this is called Boy and Dog in a Johnny Pump, 1982 by Jean-Michel Basquiat. You having fun? Your color getting washed off. I can see your bones. I can see your little hound shaking off droplets, dripping red, dripping blue, shaking shock of dreadlocks as you puddle dance on sidewalk. Sunshine drips like spray paint. You having fun? You already a ghost. Red blood, anger, all in these streets. Everything smeared, unclear, finding fun in landmine landscape right here in front of stoop. Dance while you can, little man. Let your fat black dog howl beside you, confused, mystified, loving you, being happy. Not long till that skeleton be all there is. Soak up that sun wash, all that splash. All you got is a dog in a minute. Jump right in it. You having fun? Soak it all up. You having fun? Shake it off. You having fun? You having fun? And I thought I would just continue on with a couple of other dog poems. I don't know why, but I decided I would. And this one I sort of, oh yeah, Richie's got his Basquiat there. Cool. Yeah, I actually, long story, but short thing. I actually bought 2 pieces of art from him for $10 a piece on the street in New York that would be worth millions of dollars now, but I lost them. Yeah, it's my life. But this one is a piece called Black Dog. When Winnie walked his old black dog, he was unfocused in a fog. He'd follow it or he would follow him, walk it into town and back again. The dog and Winnie were never parted. Where one ended, the other started. The dog kept close, it healed, it stayed until they laid Winnie in the grave. On that cold and solitary day, the black dog simply faded away, which I now indelibly cannot think of this poem without thinking of Kit and Robin's dog who they had for many years. And I hope doesn't hurt when I do that. I actually specifically did not read that for a couple months until I thought it would not be so bad. This next one is a little triolet. I'm talking a lot today. This is called On the Other Side of the Fence. And this is from the old lighthouse sitting on the porch. This dog so wants to be a bird, but all his songs are barks and growls, trying to mimic what he's heard. This dog so wants to be a bird. Taxonomy's relations blurred. Each night asks, who can be an owl? This dog so wants to be a bird, but all his songs are barks and growls. And I was going to do one more of mine, but I'm going to go ahead and go to the hat because I've been talking too much. So I'm going to read a couple more dog poems by real writers. This first one is by Howard Nemerov, and it's called Walking the Dog. 2 universes mosey down the street, connected by love and a leash and nothing else. Mostly, I look at lamplight through the leaves while he mooches along with tail up and snout down, getting a secret knowledge through the nose, almost entirely hidden from my sight. We stand while he's enraptured by a bush till I can't stand our standing anymore and haul him off, for our relationship is patience balancing on this side, tug, and that side drag, a pair of symbionts contented not to think each other's thoughts. What else we have in common? What he taught, our interest in shit. We know it's every state, from steaming fresh through stink to nature's way of sluicing it down street, dissolved in rain, or drying it to dust that blows away. We move along the street inspecting shit. His sense of it is far keener than mine, and only when he finds the place precise, he signifies by sniffing urgently and circles thrice about and squats and shits, whereon we both, with dignity, walk home, and just to show who's master, I write the poem. And the next one I'm going to read is by Gwendolyn Brooks, who is, in my opinion, one of the great poets of all time. And it's called Vern. When walking in a tiny rain across the vacant lot, a pup's good companion, if a pup you got. And when you've had a cold and no one loves you very and you cannot be merry, a pup will let you look at him and even let you hold his little wiggly warmness and let you snuggle down beside, nor mock the tears you have to hide. Okay, thank y'all very much.
Hey, all right. Thank you, Mike. I like wiggly wormless. I like that. I like that phrase there.
Gwendolyn
so
Brooks, man. I mean,
yeah.
she is able to do so much with the sound of words. She is just a genius poet.
And thank you for sharing that. So I know you mentioned Lighthouse. Do you have anything coming up pretty soon?
I don't have anything coming up this month, so I will let you know closer to when I have some things going on. But yeah, I look forward to all the other stuff everybody else has going. So thank y'all.
Great, appreciate that, man. And as always, thanks for joining us. When you're missing, it's definitely felt. So I'm glad you're here. Also, if you're tuning in, just again, I want to give props. Mike was just recently named the Beat Poet Laureate of Colorado. Damn, pretty cool stuff, man. That's exciting news. And that's the other thing. If you guys, when you sign up, I do have an option for you guys to add anything for bio links. That should also include like updates. So if you have any publications on the way, any awards that you've been nominated for or have won, put it on the chat so we can celebrate it. You can just, I will do it. I know it's weird to talk about yourself, so I'll be the one to like give you all the praise, because you deserve it. All right. So next up, by the way, I want to thank everyone who's tuned in so far. My buddy Ed is here. He said hi really quick. As always, Sandy is in the house. I see Julian's here on the chat, and I wanted to use this segue to mention that sometimes people tune in and check us out for a while, but they also have their own work. And today is one of those instances where someone joins us from watching on YouTube to getting to actually be on the live stream and share some of their poetry. If you live in El Paso and go to our live events, you may have seen him once or twice. He's come out a couple of times and shared his work, including this past Friday at Craft Rhythm and Brews. It is a truly honor to hear his work and hear it evolve. He's got quite the story. And so let's go ahead and welcome for the first time here at the online mic. He's new to a lot of you guys. All right. So let's go ahead and welcome to the stage, Julian. What is up, Julian? Good to have you here, my friend. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, good evening. Happy Monday night to everyone. I'm going to be doing some readings of some new poetry that I read this last Friday. So obviously, as Richie said, I have a story. I'm currently losing my eyesight. I have 3% of my right eye left. My left eye is completely gone. And, the verdict is I'll be in complete darkness soon. So writing has helped me express my feelings, emotions with my family and friends of what I'm feeling and what I'm going through. So they can understand my old grumpy ass at times. This stuff gets you in a bad mood. But here goes. I hate you, but I love you. I hate you for all the pain you caused me. I hate you for not allowing me to see the birds, the rainbows, or the colors of the leaves when it turns to fall after the spring. I hate you for taking it all away from me. I hate you for the punishment you bring. I hate you for the misery you keep me in constantly. But in that misery, I find the greatest joy, the gift of love. Through misery, I see the summer, spring, and fall, the brightest sun so big it once was small, and all the things that caused my fall, the loveless life I gave my all, full of hate and gall. I love you for what you've shown me, though you don't allow me to see it all. I love you for now I understand it all. For me to stand, I had to fall. And though your demise may come before mine, we must live together until I die. My friends, that's why I hate you, but I love you, no lie. Confusion, the place I reside, the constant struggle, the beef in my mind, to live or to die, to smile or to cry, to speak truth or tell lies. I no longer know if I'm willing to fight. My vision's still there, but I'm losing my sight. Sometimes I think that I might lose the sight I have left, third eye in my mind. The wheels grind, the end somewhere in sight. I hate you, but I love you, no lie. I'm trying to live, no longer survive. Fight or flight, that's been my whole life. Darkness or light, my own shadows I fight. Love, the call to do what is right. And hate, the thing I despise. Yet it lives somewhere inside. I don't know if my heart or my mind. All of this because of you, no lie. I hate you, but I love you, my eyes. This next one obviously has something to do with the same thing, and this is the war that I have constantly in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, to wake up, to give up on life or keep pushing on. Currently, I've chosen to keep pushing on. So I know this stuff sounds morbid, but I'm currently enrolled in school and I'm looking towards the future, so don't get freaked out. Called war. To fight is to live. To make peace is to die. Violence is life and peace is death. I'm running out of breath. My body's torn, my hands are worn, my mind can't take no more. Sometimes inviting that eternal snore. But the crowds, they yell, they beg for more war, more violence, more peace, a longer lease on life, yelling in silence, attempting to wake the pilot. Mayday, mayday, a tormented silence, nothing, peace, violence, a peaceful life, one can't find it. Yell from excitement, hit so hard, blinded, wound so tight, I fight it or invite it. I still ain't decided. There's many wrongs I ain't righted, but until then, I'll keep writing. No peace, just fighting. This next one is it's called Privilege, and it's just a way for me to express stuff that's going on through my mind and my heart and my emotions. So it's called Privilege. What is it? Who has it? Who doesn't? What do we do with that privilege? What privilege do I speak of? Whom do I speak of? You, me, them, we? The ones who can feel, smell, hear, and breathe? Oh, how privileged we be. Wasted privilege for what we choose to hear, feel, and see. Beauty all around, but the ugly is what we choose to see, hear, and be. Wasted privilege, if you ask me. One wish, that wish would be to have my privilege back to see. Wasted privilege haunting me. It beats me like a raging sea with waves so big I cannot breathe. I gasp for air, wave after wave, crashing. My thoughts and guilt thrashing, beating me down, drowning me slowly. A glimpse of what was flashes before me. My mind so messed up and somewhat distorted. What was, but what will be, I shall not see. Not in the way your privilege allows you to see. But to feel the softest breeze, to hear the wind flow through the trees, the gentle, wet, soft kisses of snowflakes in the winter freeze, the kindness from the hellos of those walking by who see. I wonder if they smile back at me. I say hello as my privilege allows me to speak, to love others, and even to breathe, to be able to give, to love, to hate, and forgive myself for a wasted privilege left somewhere on some shelf, far off in some place where I lost myself. A wasted time, a wasted mind. I searched but did not find. Love and peace I could not buy. A new set of eyes I'll never find. A wasted privilege, loss of time. A wasted privilege that once was mine. But this privilege, the privilege to be alive, this privilege is yours and it's mine. Thank you all for listening.
Oh, thank you.
I was very nervous to share that with you all, but I have a channel. It's called Going Blind, Enjoying Life. It's on YouTube and Instagram. The enjoying life part isn't just me going through happy times. Enjoying life, I feel, is feeling those downs, getting squeezed. What comes out of you is what's beautiful at those times when we're being crushed. And you know, that's enjoying life for me, is that feeling every emotion, the ups of this part of being blind. Every day is an adventure. And some days are depressing and some days are miserable, but all through it all, I get to enjoy it and be alive and share my lessons and thoughts with everyone. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good evening.
Yeah, I mean, I think really what you're doing, you know, you say, you know, I mean, this is great what you're doing for yourself, but I just really feel like this is something that can be so helpful for so many people. I mean, what you're doing is absolutely beautiful to show, you know, that even through this, that you're able to reach in and find the things that are there in your heart that really make life worthwhile. So I really just want to say thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Thank you guys for listening. It means a lot.
Right on. Thank you, Julian. Yes, I mean, I'm glad. I'm so grateful that you've found your outlet too this way. So definitely check them out. And I didn't mention in the beginning, but it was kind of implied, but Julian is joining us from El Paso. So thank you once again. You're welcome back anytime, please. We'd love to hear more from you. Also, shout out to everyone tuning in right now to the live stream. I forgot who I said hi to earlier. Well, no, I didn't, but since then, I want to give a shout out to Federico Villalba, who's tuning in. Honestly, I probably wouldn't even be doing open mics if it weren't for Federico, because he helped start and run the very first open mic I went to, like in 2008. It was called Verse and Harmony, and I really fell in love with the idea of an open mic at that point with that open mic, and it is through there where I met so many great friends. And kind of got me into the world and eventually running here at Barbed Wire. So I'm super grateful. Just want to say hi to Federico. We also got Samuel Wilson in the house, who always tunes in. And he's always just so nice and friendly, tuning in and supporting. His sister Amanda has a book out that you can check out as well. Amanda Wilson, who joined us in the very, very early days of starting this out. But thank you everyone for your participation, whether you're signed up to read or if you're just listening in. We really appreciate it. We are going to go ahead and do the magic of Zoom, magically teleport to the East Coast. And in fact, we're going to stop in New Jersey. That's right, Joyzy. And we're going to see what's going on with Terry Rose Jertson, aka the Chameleon Poetic. Terry, what is going on? Hello, how are you doing today?
Hi. I am just so confused about what to read right now. I'm like, I have mass confusion going on. I think I'm going to read an ode that I did in Robin's class on, or workshop on tumble words. Thank you. So this one's an ode for showing concern. It is a good thing to show concern for other humans, isn't it? Concern is caring, and it is good to care about other humans, isn't it? I suppose it depends on the receiver of such concern, if it is welcomed or shunned. I met many an individual when accepting the attention of another person was looked at as suspect? Who can I show concern for without the unspoken favor being introduced? If I am concerned and my caring moves me to action on the behalf of another, please don't be concerned. I will not ask for a favor in return. I was going to read another one, but I'm still working on this one. And I'm still working on a lot of things. I have this one was actually in response to a prompt from Finn Bell or Trisha, from a picture. So it's a picture of a woman who has kind of like a coquettish kind of a look on her face. So I just wrote to that, and she's reading a book. Revealing her thoughts with a smile, she attempts to catch a glimpse of the object of her desire. Will she or won't she avert her gaze, or will she turn the next page, starting a flame in this lover of games? Unrequited love pain, ending the encounter, and what might have been if the feelings were returned and mental gymnastics were mounted. I'll turn the page. Hold a minute. He has raised his gaze, locked her in tractor beam ways. She began to tremble in the most intimate of ways as he starts to approach in a lust-driven haze. I think that's going to be it for me tonight because I just can't decide what I want to do.
That's perfectly fine.
Just paralyzed or just immobilized by indecision right now.
It's all
Sorry,
good. We all go out there, right? Analysis paralysis, all right? Paralysis through
Yeah.
analysis. Cool. How can the fine people find you online and support your work?
I'm under the Chameleon Poetic in Instagram, and I'm on my name on Facebook, Terry Rose Dirtson. And I have a book for sale, The Chameleon Chronicles. You can also find that on Red or Green Books, and Red or Green Books is spelled READ, or greenbooks.com.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Terry. Terry Rose Judson, the Chameleon Poetic. As always, thanks for taking the time to spend some time with us on this fine Monday night. And again, I'm reminding everyone that we are like jumping through time zones. So when we're visiting someone on the East Coast, like it's a lot later in the night for them. So I know sometimes people get sleepy, turns into a late show. Heck, you know what? Even for the people on the West Coast, it gets late sometimes, you know? So we're going to try our best to get to everyone here. Back in the heyday, oh man, we would have like 30 people. Those were intense days. So we don't have as many, but we still have some great people that are going to share their work with us. In fact, we're going to go from coast to coast just like that because of the magic of Zoom and our internet technology. And we're going to tune in with someone who in their bio said they just rediscovered black coffee's awesome. I agree. I got some right here in this tumbler. In fact, I'm almost done with it. I need to brew some more. But joining us from here, there, and everywhere, maybe sharing some poetry. Maybe that's what they wrote in the bio. Let's go ahead and welcome the one, the only, in maybe avatar form. Let's find out. Let's welcome Finn Bell back to the stage. Hey, what's up? Oh no, it's you.
Yeah, you can see me.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm doing okay. I was gonna be avatar because I was eating my dinner and I might still have some stuff in my teeth, so it's okay. We're all family here, you know. You can see the spinach stuck between my teeth. Okay, so 2 poems. One of them is new-ish. It's the Panku. And Panku is a form that was created by Deadpan Lizzie, Elizabeth Strauss. It consists of 9 lines, and each line has 9 words. So this was in honor of the Pride Month theme in the Nuyo. So this is called Tinted. In the realm of love, colors run wild. A cobalt coolness runs amok. I don't see blue. No pink, tropical shivers, fuchsia. Oops, next part. Where'd it go? We play lavender ink rivulets. Core temp shoots up, flies, canary gold. Core temp regulates, fans, lemon crave. Grind me, chaos pigment, into you. We will bleed hope onto the canvas, turn everything an endless prism. And these are the colors of the pansexual flag, yellow, blue, and pink. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, that was my little Panku. Yay. Okay, and then the second poem I'm going to share is 2 days ago was the birthday of my beloved Marbles, who passed away in 2017. He would have been 12 years old. So I wanted to read from Mary Oliver's Dog Songs. And this is called Her Grave. She would come back, dripping thick water from the green bog. She would fall at my feet. She would draw the black skin from her gums in a hideous and wonderful smile. And I would rub my hands over her pricked ears and her cunning elbows. And I would hug the barrel of her body, amazed at the unassuming perfect arc of her neck. It took 4 of us to carry her into the woods. We did not think of music, but anyway, it began to rain slowly. Her wolfish invitational half pounce, her great and lordly satisfaction at having chased something. My great and lordly satisfaction at her splash of happiness as she barged through the pitch pines, swiping my face with her wild, slightly mossy tongue. Does the hummingbird think he himself invented his crimson throat? He is wiser than that, I think. A dog lives 15 years if you're lucky. Do the cranes crying out in the high clouds think it is all their own music? A dog comes to you and lives with you in your house, but you do not therefore own her, as you do not own the rain or the trees or the laws which pertain to them. Does the bear wandering in the autumn up the side of the hill think all by herself she has imagined the refuge and the refreshment of her long slumber? A dog can never tell you what she knows from the smells of the world, but you know, watching her, that you know almost nothing. Does the water snake with his backbone of diamonds think the black tunnel on the bank of the pond is a palace of his own making? She roved ahead of me through the fields, yet would come back or wait for me or be somewhere. Now she is buried under the pines. Nor will I argue it or pray for anything but modesty and not to be angry. Through the trees, there is the sound of the wind palavering. The smell of the pine needles. What is it but a taste of the infallible energies? How strong was her dark body? How apt is her grave place? How beautiful is her unshakable sleep? Finally, the slick mountains of love break over us. Thank you.
All right. Sorry, I didn't see you unmuted yourself. Really quick, I know you have your link tree to Fincabulary events. Is there anything in particular this week that you want to highlight, or of course, let people know where they can tune in for more of your amazingness?
Yeah, the link tree is /FinBell. And then tomorrow is my monthly karaoke night. And if anybody wants to come and sing or hang out or do trivia, the theme is Lazy Days of Summer.
Very cool, awesome. Thank you so much, and please feel free to share any links. I'll forward that to everyone who's watching on YouTube now. Thank you so much, everyone. Finn Bell, and also I hyped up the AI. So if you want to see that, she's done it before. You can go back to our archives. We have pretty much almost every single episode from this show that we've done since April of 2020 on our YouTube channel. So if you have a little bit of extra time, or some people have literally told me that whenever they need to do chores or clean, they'll put the show on in the background and listen to us. So just a heads up, that's pretty cool. So you can go back, and there is an archive, and as a plus, as a bonus, Kit Ren, who will be reading in just a bit, he has gone and in the comment he has left timestamps. So if you guys want to keep up with all that stuff, it's easier to find yourself in there, or any particular performer that you may want to see. Makes it a little bit easier. So as always, thank you, Kit, for that. All right, we're gonna go ahead and continue onward. I was gonna post this for everyone, the list on our Zoom chat, just so you guys can kind of know. Yeah, Kit very much like Fernando, has many titles. All right, so next up, we are gonna come back to Texas, but not quite El Paso. That's right. If you've been here, you already know who's up next. We're gonna stay level-headed in Levelland, or feel free to do whatever you want. We've got Lungs of Dust. Always happy to have her on the show. How are you doing today? Happy Monday.
Hey, Richie, how are you? Can you hear
Great.
me?
Yeah, you sound great, and thank you.
So I have a few things to read. I wrote a couple of things this past week, and then I have a couple of like oldies from like 2019 that I wrote, and then I'm gonna do a tiny little cover poem. I'm like, I've never read this many stuff before. All right, so my first one, it's untitled. These first two that I wrote, they're untitled. All right. When the monsters have been in your bed, it gives them a key to pick your locks, change all the clocks. Your reality is survival. That's when love becomes your biggest rival. I look over my shoulder, even now that I'm much older. There's a blade close by that calls your name, ready to take aim. I hope you get hunted and devoured by the foxes. I hope they tear you limb by limb. I can see it seem so grim. But you deserve worse. So I wrote you this curse. That's my first one. I hope you guys like that one. This is my second one that I wrote this week. Somehow I had time to write. All right. I've ran out of excuses to put on another. It's time I look in the mirror. It's time I bring it near. Throw myself at its penance, the harsh realization that stares back, me dressed in all black. The tumbleweeds that greet me are no surprise. It's the disguise when you're one of the bad guys. I sip tea, drown a little in the Black Sea, write letters to someone I've yet to meet. Whatever spills out of this heart of concrete. There's no excuses. They've ran out. So I look in the mirror, bring it nearer, twirl in my black dress, no longer in distress. So that one was the second one. There was a misspelling there. So I was like, oh shit, I meant to write something different. Okay. So the other two, I wrote these back in, I guess, December, or maybe I finished them off in December of 2019. And they were actually it was one part, and then there's a tiny little part that was part two. So I'm going to do the first one. The first one's untitled, but the second one isn't. I don't know. All right. Do I make you think of love songs? Do I make you wonder about the past? So late at night when your demons focus on your heart, the kind that make your loneliness real and spread your limbs apart. Do I make you think of poetry, the greatest words put together, or our own that we'll never see, the kind that drown in a lifeless sea? You make me think of love songs, the kind I could put together, like our poetic words braving the weather, or our own that I imagine but will never see. Even now, they're sailing the sea. And the past is my demon. Lately, I feel like a drowning seaman, soaring the bottomless ocean, a galaxy of its own, the death potion. You make me think of poetry. You make me write words that I could never before. So here's one more. And then it goes into part 2. And this one's called Sailing at Night, I think. All these feelings, their old views, outdated cues, they create a river or maybe a flood as they flow through my blood. It's a sinking casket or a trailing bliss sailing through this abyss. And so those are all mine that I wrote. And my last one, it's a little tiny one by Langston Hughes. It's called Dreams. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow. It's a cute little thing that he wrote. And that's it.
All right, awesome. And like I always like to say, that wasn't just it.
I
That was everything.
keep saying that. I'm sorry.
No, it's not a bad thing. That's my favorite segue when someone says that's it.
That's it. I can't help it.
Yeah. How can people follow and support you online if they choose to do so?
My Instagram is Lungs of Dust. That's my username. And I keep like forgetting about this. It takes me forever, but I have some earrings on Etsy that you can buy if you want. I'm like wearing some right now. I crochet them. And that's a distant storm. That's my Etsy. So
I love how poetic your handles are for things. A distant storm.
I was
Lungs
brought
of
up by
Dust.
Tumblr, so
Oh yeah, there you go. That explains it. That's cool. Me too. I think my Tumblr was like a different universe. I guess it's a rule. You have to like be mysterious or poetic in that way. Lungs of Dust, everyone. Thank you so much. Yeah. Was that mine? Yeah, I was a different universe. Crazy. Hey, I'm in a different universe right now. I changed my background for some reason. But yeah, if you haven't already done so, you can find all that we do online through the Barbed Bar Open Mic series on social media. If you type it in, we will show up, pretty sure. We have in-person open mics and we have online open mics. In addition to that, we also on our YouTube channel have been recording lots of content. I've been filming a lot of content, and so I'm in the process of getting some help because it's hard to do all this on my own. Fernando has been helping out a lot. A lot of you guys have met Fernando as well. It's also going to be his birthday tomorrow, so if you guys have a chance to send him a message, that's going to be a lot of fun. He's going to have a really great, discussion on one of his favorite films at Aaron and George's Film Cafe. If you can, check that out. And then we have the open mic as well at Mono Bar. But otherwise, yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to Fernando as well. And everyone who's read so far. Let's go ahead and continue. We're going to stick around in El Paso for our next performer. I talked about giving himself many titles, and they are definitely well earned. He's been the archivist, a troubleshooter. He's been at times a bouncer, but oftentimes we call him Mr. Monday Night. Let's go ahead and welcome back, also with 100% attendance so far on the show. Let's go ahead and welcome back to the show, Kit Wren. What's up, man?
What's up, Richie? Where everything's coming up roses over here. The weird abandoned social media site that I use to access all my things is down. troubling. So we're going back to the old technology briefly. Do one of mine and then a cover. This is an invocation beginning with words from Grace Paley's father. Dear heart, little heart, thank you for doing your job, the blood, and so forth. Thank you for the moments of great feeling, both happiness and sadness. I think sometimes that to be sad is a momentous and beautiful thing and not something to be afraid of. Thank you for encasing the thoughts that are actually me into a form that is more than thoughts that occasionally can do without thinking. Thank you for sleep, which is the thing I never want, but never regret. Thank you for making survival casual and easy so that my mind can instead make me think of great and momentous and terribly sad things. The more I seek, the less I seek companionship, the more I find I have it. The less available I am, the more attractive I look. I do not know why you chose this, if you chose this art, but I can sense you doing your job, trying your best, taking oxygen to all points in a reliable, systematic way. And the cover poem's gonna be a bit long, so little warning for the guy doing the timestamps, which is me. We had a little straw poll to see if we're gonna do tumble words over the 4th of July weekend on the 1st. Right now the no's are winning, but it's still open, so we'll see. And this is sort of the sudden plan I had. We'll see if it needs to be into motion or not, but from the USA trilogy by John Dos Passos, it has sprinkled within it biographical poems of people, of historical figures. Some were heroes, some were villains, some were buffoons. This one is called The House of Morgan. I commit my soul into the hands of my Savior, wrote John Pierpont Morgan in his will, in full confidence that having redeemed it and washed it in his most precious blood, he will present it faultless before my heavenly Father. And I entreat my children to maintain and defend at all hazard, and at any cost of personal sacrifice, the blessed doctrine of complete atonement for sin through the blood of Jesus Christ, once offered and through that alone. And into the hands of the House of Morgan, represented by his son, he committed, when he died in Rome in 1913, the control of the Morgan interests in New York, Paris, and London, 4 national banks, 3 trust companies, 3 life insurance companies, 10 railroad systems, 3 street railway companies, an express company, the International Mercantile Marine Power on the cantilever principle through interlocking directorates over 18 other railroads, U.S. Steel, General Electric, American Telegraph and Telephone, 5 major industries. The interwoven cables of the Morgan-Stillman-Baker combination held credit up like a suspension bridge, 13% of the banking resources of the world. The first Morgan to make a pool was Joseph Morgan, a hotel keeper in Hartford, Connecticut, who organized stagecoach lines and brought up eight in the life insurance stock in a time of panic caused by one of the big New York fires in the 1830s. His son, Junius, followed in his footsteps, first in the dry goods business, and then as partner to George Peabody, a Massachusetts banker who built up an enormous underwriting and mercantile business in London and became a friend of Queen Victoria. Junius married the daughter of John Pierpont, a Boston preacher, poet, eccentric, and abolitionist, and their eldest son, John Pierpont Morgan, arrived in New York to make his fortune after being trained in England, going to school at VC, proving himself a crack mathematician at the University of Göttingen. A lanky, morose young man of 20, just in time for the panic of 57, war and panics on the stock exchange, bankruptcies, war loans, good growing weather for the House of Morgan. When the guns started booming at Fort Sumter, young Morgan turned some money over reselling condemned muskets to the U.S. Army and began to make himself felt in the gold room in downtown New York. There was more in trading in gold than in trading in muskets. So much for the Civil War. During the Franco-Prussian War, Junius Morgan floated a huge bond issue for the French government at Tours. At the same time, young Morgan was fighting Jay Cook and the German Jew bankers in Frankfurt over the funding of the American war debt. He never did like the Germans or the Jews. The Panic of '73 ruined Jay Cook and made J. Pierpont Morgan the boss croupier of Wall Street. He united with the Philadelphia Drexels and built the Drexel Building, where for 30 years he sat in his glassed-in office, red-faced and insolent, writing at his desk, smoking great black cigars, or, if important issues were involved, playing solitaire in his inner office. He was famous for his few words, yes or no, and for his way of suddenly blowing up in a visitor's face, and for that special gesture of the arm that meant, what do I get out of this? In '77, Junius Morgan retired. J. Pierpont got himself made a member of the board of directors of the New York Central Railroad and launched the first Corsair. He liked yachting and to have pretty actresses call him Commodore. He founded the Lying In Hospital on Stuyvesant Square and was fond of going into St. George's Church and singing a hymn all alone in the afternoon quiets. In the Panic of '93, at no inconsiderable profit to himself, Morgan saved the U.S. Treasury. Gold was draining out. The country was ruined. The farmers were howling for a silver standard. Grover Cleveland and his cabinet were walking up and down in the Blue Room at the White House without being able to come to a decision. In Congress, they were making speeches while the gold reserves melted in the sub-treasuries. Poor people were starving. Coxey's army was marching to Washington. For a long time, Grover Cleveland couldn't bring himself to call the representative of the Wall Street money masters. Morgan sat in his suite at the Arlington smoking cigars and quietly playing solitaire until at last the president sent for him. He had a plan already for stopping the gold hemorrhage. After that, what Morgan said went. When Carnegie sold out, he built the Steel Trust. J. Pierpont Morgan was a bull-necked, irascible man with his small, black magpie's eyes and a growth on his nose. He let his partners work themselves to death over the detailed routine of banking and sat in his back office smoking black cigars. When there was something to be decided, he said yes or no, or just turned his back and went back to his solitaire. Every Christmas, his librarian read him Dickens' A Christmas Carol from the original manuscript. He was fond of canary birds and Pekingese dogs and liked to take pretty actresses' yacht. Each Corsair was a finer vessel than the last. When he dined with King Edward, he sat at His Majesty's right. He ate with the Kaiser tete-a-tete. He liked talking to cardinals or the Pope and never missed a conference of Episcopal bishops. Rome was his favorite city. He liked choice cookery and old wines and pretty women and yachting and going over his collections, now and then picking up a jeweled snuff box and staring at it with his magpie's eyes. He made a collection of the autographs of the rulers of France, owned glass cases full of Babylonian tablets, seals, signets, statuettes, busts, Gallo-Roman bronzes, Merovingian jewels, miniatures, watches, tapestries, porcelains, cuneiform inscriptions, paintings by all the old masters, Dutch, Italian, Flemish, Spanish, manuscripts of the Gospels and the Apocalypse, a collection of the works of Jean-Jacques Rousseau and the letters of Pliny the Younger. His collectors bought anything that was expensive or rare or had the glint of empire on it, and he had it brought to him and stared hard at it with his magpie's eyes. Then it was put in a glass case. The last year of his life, he went up the Nile on a dahabiyah and spent a long time staring at the great columns of the temple at Karnak. The Panic of 1907 and the death of Harriman, his great opponent in railroad financing in 1909, had left him the undisputed ruler of Wall Street, the most powerful private citizen in the world. An old man tired of the purple, suffering from gout, he had deigned to go to Washington to answer the questions of the Pujo Committee during the money trust investigation. Yes, I did what seemed to me for the best interests of the country. So admirably was his empire built that his death in 1913 hardly caused a ripple in the exchanges of the world. The purple descended to his son, J.P. Morgan, who had been trained at Groton and Harvard, and by associating with the British ruling class to be a more constitutional monarch. J.P. Morgan suggests. By 1917, the Allies had borrowed $1,900,000,000 through the House of Morgan. We went overseas for democracy and the flag. And by the end of the peace conference, the phrase J.P. Morgan suggests had compulsion over a power of $74 billion. J.P. Morgan is a silent man, not given to public utterances, but during the Great Steel Strike, he wrote Gary, heartfelt congratulations on your stand for the open shop, with which I am, as you know, absolutely in accord. I believe American principles of liberty are deeply involved and must win if we stand firm. Wars and panics on the stock exchange, machine gun fire and arson, bankruptcies, war loans, starvation, lice, cholera, and typhus. Good growing weather for the House of Morgan. I shouldn't do this. This is a really cool paperback. Okay. Thanks for bearing with me with that. Here's how to find me. Instagram at Kit Ran Away, Twitter at Kit Talk Sports. Probably soon to be, if any of y'all have a Blue Sky invite, you know, I'm in the market. Ko-fi.com/KitRen, some essays about football. You can find me on Facebook, easy enough. You can drop something in the tip jar via PayPal. With my email address listed right here. You can send me an old-fashioned email if you want to get in touch. And the Tumblewords Project, as mentioned earlier, this Saturday with Robin Schofield was a grand old time. It doesn't look like we're going to do one on the 1st. That's the way the straw poll is looking. It's still open if you want to vote, for those of you in the group chat. But on the 8th, this one's not subject to vote because this is a constitutional monarchy. On the 8th, I'll be presenting The Book of Delights by Ross Gay, a workshop based on that lovely little collection of essays. The 15th belongs to, belongs to our friend from Toronto, Kelly Mary McAllister. And the 22nd will be to the, we'll have a debuting presenter, the aforementioned Fernando Montejano. Will have something really cool for us then. And the 29th, no stranger to anyone here, Vale Larkin will run it on the 29th. So July, another great month for Tumblewords, because they are all great months. At Tumblewords, we don't do anything except win. And, you know, get in touch with me if you want to attend one of our generative writing workshops. Get something done. You know, because, you know, writing inspiration, sometimes it's just like a zit. You got to just apply pressure till it pops. And for other less gross metaphors, let's go back to Richie.
Perfect. No, I love that. But really quick, I know you already passed it off to me, but we did have someone here in the chat completely interested in your T-shirt there. Shout out to Preliminal on YouTube. They're asking about the aardvark character here.
This University of California at Irvine. They're the University of California at Irvine Anteaters. Their logo was designed by the late Johnny Hart, the comics guy who also created BC and the Wizard of Id. He was an alumnus, and he sort of gave them this cool logo. I have a lot of vintage college football shirts, and this is one of them. And they're not paying me, so I guess I shouldn't plug Home Field Apparel, but homefield.com, a lot of great college shirts from all over. No UTEP yet. I'll keep bothering people.
You should definitely get them to sponsor you somehow. That'd be perfect. All right. Thank you, Kid. I just had to ask, and you know.
No, I appreciate it.
You know, satisfied. So thank you again for anyone who's here. Please feel free to say hi in the live chat. We love to know that you're listening. And yeah, if you have any questions, I will make sure to forward those to people. And if I can't do it during the show, I'll send them a message and forward it to YouTube chat. All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. As I mentioned before, this is our online open mic. We still have some spaces open and a couple people that aren't here yet. So there is room to sign up. If you're watching this and it is live, we are live. You see the live stream and it says that it's live. We do have a link to sign up. That is, of course, if you want to. If you just want to fill it out, sit back, relax, or even again, just support by listening, that's always welcome as well. But just want to let you guys know that in the description of the YouTube video, there is a link to sign up. Right now, we're going to go ahead and go to San Francisco. And our next performer, you can find them ipublishyou.com, and of course, part of Time to Arrive open mic. Let's go ahead and welcome back to the show, Mr. Dane Ince. Hey, Dane.
Hey, thank you. Thanks, everybody. Wonderful evening. Wow. JP Morgan. Thanks for that. It's kind of tough to follow that, actually. So I have two pieces. I had them. Here we go. This is our mythology. Crows fly, dawn, light liminal, long ago lost, waiting. This song story is mythical. Red hair, long, poppy, flaming. 1966 protest song heroine walks in green dales of fairies. Release us from this quarantine. Lips speak sweet love, lush berries. Sparkle eyes, perceiving, ears hearing, sorrows worldly. Lift us out to believing. Wounds sewn up, held, loved, lively. Namaste, fair Mercedes. Soul, heart, grace, and whimsical. Love like isles of Celades. Crows fly, dawn, light liminal. This next piece is, I think I'll call it Stool. Who's going to fix that broken stool? A fable as old as Phoenician sea songs. Now we come under Roman rule, long time coming. Sometime when we went wrong, we were too broken to fix. I'm just listening for the whisper on your lips. Never gonna nix this wish for sea snails die. Flag fly of purple and gold. The old crow sitting on the pole told me to get a hold of myself. She was waiting for our love to unfold. Who's going to fix this broken stool? All the tools rusted. We're losing the light. I wonder if tonight you're going to be my baby. We're going to use the rubble to build a bridge. We're digging up the bodies of all those who lost, who were sold into slavery, subsequently under the spell of scholars buried here. Convert this island into a peninsula where the masterpiece is waiting in the bedroom of the roofless gray house out back. Cascade of broken things left there in the Tolman. We can roll this rock off our hearts. This graveyard is a pasture. Just picture the forest all around. The sea salt stays in the sand. We know where romance is found. Imaginary Italy will do. Soon we will be writing love poems in French. Watch Big Sur redwood sway over campfire whispers, setting sun, air fresh on our bakery tongues, the sucking gurgle slurp of sea, salty sliding over serpentine, slough off giant cliffs, now rubble footrest for this fast car earth. The merchant oligarchy was husband to the notorious wife. In this life, we sleep under stars. This blanket twinkles through redwood branches. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dane. Also, check out Time to Arrive, open mic, ipublishyou.com. And if you have anything else you'd like to share, Dane, please let me know. If you drop it in the chat.
All right.
Yeah, man. Thanks for
Thank you.
joining us. Cool. Another Beat Poet Laureates. We got a couple in the house. Also, shout out to Belinda Suberman from El Paso. Also, Beat Poet Laureate of Texas. Cool to have you guys here with us. All right, so let me take a quick look at the peeps here in the Zoom room. I do not see him here. We had the homie from Seattle sign up. They've performed before, but are not here yet. So we're gonna chill for a bit and see if he does make it. But until then, let's go ahead and we're gonna wander off to Washington, D.C. That's right. If you know, you know. Next up, we got some jokes and poetry from the one, the only Eddie P. That's right, Eddie. Ed, Poetastic. Hey, man. Good to see you as always. Happy Monday. Go and do your thing, man.
Thank you, my brother, for no more words like thunder. Hey, my name is Ed Potastical, feeling fantastic. Please get a time to Joe Moran for Awful Sublime. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 jokes and 3 poems. Okay. What did the monkeys call their boat? The banana daiquiri. Why did the chicken cross the road? It was too fly. Why did the bear left his wife? She was too unbearable. What did the deer say to the other deer? Oh dear, I don't give a buck. What do you call a happy bean? A jumping bean. What did the meteorologist name his dog? Sunny. What do you call a dog who loves hot sauce? A hot dog. What do you call a hungry turtle? A snapping turtle. What do you call a secretive cat? What did the turtle say to the other turtle? Jerry, nobody likes snail mail. And last a lot. Yep, and that's it. All right, hope I left those jokes for you folks. The first poem is called Crimson Arrow. It's tearing up my heart when I'm with you. But when we are apart, I feel it too. And no matter what I do, I feel the pain. With or without you. I'm here playing a game with drunken roulette. Oh boy, it's quite the shame. Left me real regret and debt. Enough about that. This is about the lovers. I know you're happy with each other. I know you hit each other with bolts of thunder. But remember, accept and nurture one another. This will make your days more luckier and sunnier. Can't forget about the widowers. I know you miss him or her. May you feel their warmth or whispers. They want you to live and not suffer. Remember the frigid winters and warm summers. Keep them alive. You haven't lost your color. Don't stop the buffer. You haven't lost your luster. Can't even get out of singles. Trust me, I know love isn't easy. Sometimes too hard, too breezy. Sometimes your ex are two-faced and sleazy. Sometimes it can feel queasy and squeezy. Love is up first, easy pea, lemon squeezy. Love's not a word but an action. Love heals and gives deep satisfaction. Love isn't a needy and greedy transaction. Love is an empathetic and sympathetic attraction. Love is a big addition, not a huge subtraction. Love is a soothing and calming fraction. Love is a real interaction, not a careless distraction. Thank you. And I got one more. This is called I'm Still Standing. I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't you know I'm still standing? Better than I ever did. Look like a true survivor. Feel like a little kid. I'm still standing. After all this time, pick up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. You're a ghostly fragment inside my mind. Now you leave me far behind. I feel sad, but I'm not confined. I feel confused, but I'm not blind. I was dancing on glass just to please you. I was changing to captivate you. I burned my money just to worship you. I starved for hours just to feed you. I admit I lost my head. My eyes were rosy red. I couldn't sit still or go to bed. My hungry heart hung by a thread. I thought she was a woman of my dreams. Her presence made me feel supreme. I was in love to the extreme. I was blinded by backstabbing scheme. I was her prisoner, held by chains. The pain was hard to explain. I was a slave in her self-deluded domain. I cried a wild hurricane with a great chance of rain. I was a big sucker like no other. My common sense nestled right under. I was the runner, but I just suffered. I truly believe I was her lover. It was a pale, frigid spring. Only her difference sings. Only the silence stings. I was a foolish king. I was a dog on a leash. I was a bird in a cage. I was Wilson on the beach. It didn't get better with age. I couldn't take it anymore. It rides my bloody core. The facade I couldn't ignore. I ran quickly out the door. The things people do for love. It doesn't make any logical sense. Some say it's a gift from above. If I have one defense, it is that we were innocent. If I fall in love, I think of this song. I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that. If it doesn't fit like a glove, it is wrong. This is a matter of experience and fact. I'm still standing, not as a little kid. I'm still standing, much better than I ever did. I'm still standing, without a knowing lid. I'm still standing, something I can't undid. Thank you. This is okay. This is a little spicy piece to say the least to go inside your crease. I'm sorry. Eddie for foreplay all day, every day. Hope everyone like my erotic wordplay. This is gonna have mom and dad later some different stage. So please, my word for each page. I just want to burn some cages. This is called Hungry Body. A spicy tongue slowly melts. Fast moving suns, passion has begun. Embers rain down at the center. Many sloppy sounds, guns getting thinner. Salty sweet drops, taste our bond. Non-stop swaps to the top. Consciousness in the great beyond. Flickers of hears and backs, bones jumping to a beat. Jolts from our heart attacks, rough our loins and feet. Up against your moist skin, I felt sensation of being alive. Our moans of joy transcends the ringing of our bare beehives, the fusion of lustful beasts, forming one big tornado. The boats never decease, enveloping by a pink volcano, both powerless to the closeness, clinging each other for sweet life, engulfed in the intoxicating mist, two hungry shadows creating light. I want another sweet bear taste, not less sweet, not less bitter. I want to see the euphoria on your face, making your weather more wetter. Your sin assaults my soul. Your essence fuels my pleasure. Your heart melts away my code. Your energy has no measure. My nakedness needs unashamed. My hungry mouth wants honey. My heart refused to be untamed. Our waterfalls will be less running. Let's savor the warming darkness. Let me taste your salty sweet drops. Let us dance in our burning desires. Let us move till time stops and pops. We're lost in a sweaty bliss. The bright sun quickly shows up. Our tired eyes try to resist. Oh, the roars from the gnawing dumpster trucks. And thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Eddie. What is going on? You got a little preview of some of your style, including the jokes. And I gotta admit, some went over my head this time, but I always love them anyway. Where can people follow and support your work online?
Well, you can follow me by coming or watching this wonderful open mic that makes our Monday Says Delight in the wonderful Potastic Spotlight. All right, but if you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook is Eddie Foreman Eddie Foreman, and my IG is Eddie Foreman 92. And remember, if the mic is right, I'll be there to shine my Potastic insight. But if you see me a question to take a guess, the answer is yes. Hope everyone stay healthy, safe, and blessed. Never stop spewing the wonderful words outside your chest. Now stop feeling, doing, and being your best. Woohoo!
Yeah, Eddie,
Yeah.
Eddie Poetastic, aka Eddie Foreman, Fireman. All right. Appreciate you, man. Want to thank everyone who has read so far. I do want to give a special shout out, Dan the Man, if you're watching on YouTube. Hey man, we're here. I texted you, man. So if you're not familiar, Dan has also been here to every single one of these. He's having trouble with his Zoom app. So I don't know. We got to troubleshoot that, and hopefully we can get him on. It was his birthday this past Friday, so happy belated birthday, Dan. If you guys haven't had a chance, also send him a birthday message. I'm gonna read a couple pieces and the cover to see if maybe in that time he can get into the Zoom call. This is The Art of Stalling. So this one's called, I forget what it's called. It doesn't have a title yet. I forget. Yeah. Let poetry be poetry. I explained to a room full of students unaware of their own potential. It's a torrential discourse on the source and divorce of common sense from education. The course which pours through seams of dreams left in shambles, children in rambles who've become adults, let's call them left behind. Come on in if you're willing to listen. We won't have to tell the world that the moon is shining when I can guide you with the glint of light on broken glass. In the lunchroom, people come and go, speaking of who you have to know. One day, my heart blossomed in enthusiasm. The instant I overheard the word galaxy uttered the next table over during my office hours in the cafeteria. They were just talking about a phone. I talk about phones too, but right now I wanted to talk about the galaxy. See, clumsy guitar chords are strummed in a chord into the air as they transform into magical Louis Bonfa melodies in the hazy red-eye underbelly of this distant reality, just in time to see the futility and eternity. Whatever happened to a time when knowledge was power and books were passports into the uncharted territories of passion and the imagination, to send the sensation of unsent incendiary letters into the better but unbent deflector sector of not so silent specters, because this is the kind of stuff that will haunt you. When people tend to look a lot more like shadows than they do people, it's feeble. Just shut up and write, I whisper to myself, as the golden cosmos, perennials, flowers planted along campus shake off the dew of a recent rain, a desert blessing. The wind howls along to the rhythm echoing in my mind. Right, 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 edit, right, edit, 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 delete, repeat, delete, repeat, delete, repeat, repeat. You gotta write, edit, edit, edit. Okay, I need to figure out how to end that one. That's a hard one, which is probably why I haven't titled it yet. Thanks. This next one is called Shenanigans. We were diving into the etymology of the word before this, so love to explore that more. Here we go. One word, 4 syllables, shenanigans. Because if actions speak louder than words, then shenanigans are screamed from the tops of mountains and annihilate what you used to know as truth. Some people believe our lives are dictated by fate, but with little shenanigans, you can take control of your life. Shenanigans build character. You can't buy personality. And personally, pronouns are profound when I and I are pronounced as we. Because who we be is free. We manage mischief in places of obscure origins, like America. We appreciate the finer things in life, but sometimes you just want to break shit. We are Coyote, the anti-hero of our grandmother's stories, trickster. No shenanigans well. They kept me sane during those hard times when I was eating microwave splintered weenies and a tortilla and ramen every day because that's all there was in the kitchen besides cucas. Staying up late, sleeping past noon, beer for breakfast, and doing it all over again. The unemployed shenanigans, the looking for your next fix shenanigans. Because a little chaos is fun and good for the soul, especially when raunchy debauchery becomes a welcomed occurrence. Shenanigans is the sound of rusty chainsaws being juggled. Shenanigans is freedom. So be free to make mistakes and announce your love to that one person or two. Hey, whatever makes your plane soar. Shenanigans is the number you call after 2 a.m. You see, we've been down and out because of shenanigans, left to pontificate, perhaps even evacuate these words that we masticate all over the sidewalk. If there isn't a threat of being arrested, you're doing it wrong. It is the zenith of xenified bohemian behaviors etched in the secret passageways of underground cities. It's can't stop, it won't stop, and it goes like shenanigans. Reminds me of revolution. You see, the Arab Spring, Mexico 68, the civil rights movement. These wouldn't exist without the desire for shenanigans. So take some time to upset the balance of the universe. Quantum physics dictates that we are allowed to make a myriad of choices, shake some atoms, and unravel what you thought was impossible. Because it's like they say, Rome wasn't built in a fuck it, let's do it anyway. Shenanigans. Anyway, and scene. There's a guy who goes there in person open mics and he does like a classic bow where he does one of these. And I like it. You gotta start bringing that back. So this is me stalling a little bit for Dan. I just recently got this in the mail. I already cover a lot of his poems, but his stage name is Guante. It's Kyle Tron Meyer. He's featured a lot in Bun Poetry stuff. But he's a rapper and spoken word poet and teacher. So I really like what he does. So I just opened it literally just as this show was started. I ordered the combo pack with 2 of his books. And it's not just poetry, it's also essays, conversations. He does a lot about like radical progressive work. He addresses toxic masculinity, being an artist, class warfare, inequalities in, I guess, wealth, a lot of different things that he touches on. So this is one that I just saw, and I remember hearing this one a while back. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm not as versed on it as some of the other poems I do, but it's called Small Talk. Here you go. And this is from his collection, A Love Song, A Death Rattle, a Battle Cry. You can also listen to a lot of these as songs as well that he has on Spotify, or I guess anywhere you listen to music. Okay, Small Talk. When my girlfriend's parents ask me what I do for a living, I pull a straight razor out of my back pocket, and I don't tell them that I'm a poet. I sure as hell don't tell them that I'm an MC. I just pull a straight razor out of my back pocket. And sure, I could lie. I could say that I'm a pilot, or a teacher, or a handsome man, or a change that I want to see in the world, or a pipe smoking grad student. I could go on and on about all the locked doors I can open, or the exotic locales that have crawled up my nose, or the blinding glossiness of my resume paper. But I don't. I pull a straight razor out of my back pocket. Sure, maybe this is overly dramatic, but I've never been very good at small talk. I'm always too busy wondering where interesting scars come from. Too busy asking myself how many poorly aimed arrows, casual brushes of skin, drownings, and split seconds of eye contact over the past 10,000 years have constructed this moment. Too busy imagining the soundtrack to my life dominated by smiling adult contemporary alterna rockers and saying, No. Give me hip hop, dressed in leather, knuckles cracking. Give me whatever the opposite of Novocaine is. Let it pulse beneath my skin. Because we could talk about the weather. That's easy. We could deaden our colors and round our jagged corners so that we may fit more precisely into our carry-on luggage. I could rattle off a string of pop culture references and we'd have a good laugh, but I don't. I pull a straight razor out of my back pocket. And just as her father begins to say, "So you're a barber?" I slice my little finger off. They jump back instantly. Like characters in a poorly edited student film, their lines caught between their teeth, their eyes staring directly into the camera, levitating with pain. I pick my discarded digit up from off the Olive Garden floor, and with the black Sharpie that I always keep in my other back pocket, I write my name on it and say, "Give me $10 and I will let you keep this. Not the finger, the moment. Give me $10, a tribute to the truth that we once stood here, that I did something worth remembering, that you on this day witnessed something larger than traffic or storm clouds or time passing. For the price of a fancy breakfast, press your fingertips to the wet cement of my tombstone. Stand in the background of my iconography. It's only $10. Tell my bones they've done a good job keeping me upright. Tell yourself that this day did not blur by, that this journal entry would be more than an absent-minded doodle. For $10, I will carve my initials into your brainstem. What do I do for a living? I am a poet, an MC, an artist. I am a turtle without a shell, and I have the scars to prove it. I am pulling myself from a magician's hat, night after night, and I have the scars to prove it. I am leaving fragments of my body in every dusty corner of this country, and I have the scars to prove it. Give me $10 and I will show you every crazy melodramatic one. But I really enjoyed it. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna read one more cover poem. And if not, damn, should we do it? All right, I'll figure it out. All right, here, one more cover poem. This one's called The Family Business. Jackie's been here for 25 years and he tells me, you get used to it. He says your nose learns to seal itself when you dive headfirst into an ocean of dust. Your eyes develop nictating membranes to keep the chemical sprays out, and your hands, they will grow their own gloves, invisible and tough and permanent. I've been a janitor for 3 weeks and I thought I was made of stronger materials. We play chess in the break room. Jackie asks me what my favorite piece is. I say the pawn because, he's the underdog. The odds are against him. Jackie identifies with the pawns too, but he sees nobility in their sacrifice. He sees beauty in their simplicity, in the fact that they're always moving forward. Jackie shambles from room to room, moving half as fast as me, but somehow getting twice as much done. The night shift will mess with your head like that. Jackie smiles. The saddest face I've ever seen. Sometimes I see that face and I imagine that we are the servants entombed alive with the pharaohs, polishing someone else's gold while our oxygen runs out, dutifully preparing a grand feast for a god who will never be hungry. But Jackie tells me that there is honor in this, a good day's work, an honest living, that there is poetry in this. But what kind of poetry lives in a can of orange naturalizer? The liquid breath of dragons? The mist dissolves every word creeping up my throat, overwhelms every idea. They got me wiping my reflection from the glass, scrubbing the shadows off the walls. They got me so scared of my alarm clock that I can't fall asleep anymore. Even when my muscles drain out from under my fingernails, my thoughts stream out of my ears and I am left with nothing but two eyes that refuse to close for fear of what they might see. Is there really honor in this? Or is it that abstract notion, the carrot they dangle in front of us pawns to move us across the board? Jackie tells me that you can't think about it like that. He says that without us, The people who live and work in this building couldn't function, that we keep the gears churning, and that it might not be glamorous, but it's necessary. And of course, he's right. And maybe I am just a working class kid who somehow hustled my way into college and got delusions of grandeur. Maybe now I'm too good to go home to the family business. 100 generations of janitors and farmers and infantry and factory workers and pawns. So I suck it up and last for 2 more months. And on my final day before a very uncertain future, I make a point to shake Jackie's hand and I say, I've been thinking, man. I think the reason pawns can't move backwards is because if they could, they'd kill their own kings in a heartbeat. Instead, we are forced to keep moving, believing we can get to the other side and become royalty ourselves, but most likely dying on the way there, sacrificed for a cause we don't even understand. I wish you the best, man. I wish you horses and castles. Jackie smiles, the saddest face I've ever seen, and disappears into his work. All right. So I think I'll go ahead and stop from that. Okay. So thank you everyone for sticking around. Dan I'm gonna give him an honorary credit. And here's the thing. What I'll do is I'll attach something. So what I'll do is maybe I'll re-upload this or something, and I'll attack on the Dan performance, just so we can say he made it, because he's been texting me. He's trying. He's like, it's not working. He's probably getting really frustrated with it. But I do want to thank everyone who has tuned in online, left a comment, a question. It's great to see you guys here. If you haven't already, subscribe. Hey, we are here every single Monday. So if by chance you don't get to make it, that is fine. If you need to take a week off or more than a couple weeks off, do it. There's no obligation. We will be here for as long as this space is needed. And if you've never been in this space, you are welcome. If you're just watching in a distance, come through anytime. I do post the link on our social media, Barbed Wire Open Mic. So if you have us on Facebook, if you go to our event page, I'll set that up the whole month before. So just make sure you check that it's the right date. We also have a link tree, and you can subscribe to that link tree. I think you can sign up with your email or even through your phone number. And there's an option for me to notify you when links are sent out. So I think at least 12 of you do that, which is really cool. I don't know who that is. I don't know who signed up for the link tree to be subscribed, but it's really helpful. So if you guys want to be notified that way, you'll get an email or a text message. Otherwise, just thanks for the support as always. Everyone have a great week. We're taking back Mondays. It's always been like the classic, worst day ever. Start everything again. But hopefully by doing these, we've reframed our entire week and we can continue to be strong. I know Tuesday night in El Paso is going to be a couple things. Fernando is having his birthday screening at Aaron and George's Film Cafe. Mona Bar is going to be from 9 p.m. to midnight. So if you want to go hit that up afterwards, we'll be there. Wednesday is the Writers Theater. I think it's this week, right? The Writers Theater with Aaliyah, who also is just another amazing poet. I wish you could make it here often. Thursday is Old Sheepdog Brewery. Fernando is going to be taking the reins. It is going to be the very, very first open mic where I'm not going to be there. I'm completely leaving it up to him in his hands. So I hope that goes well. If you guys are free, go check that out and support him. And we'll be back next Monday. Thank you much. Again, much love to Dan the man, sending love your way. If you're watching on YouTube, don't worry, we will add your performance to the end of the video or something. Okay, we'll slice it in right now. Hey, Dan the man, good job, great job, Dan. Yes, as always, what I'm saying, show some love to Dan. All right. We will see you guys for the live stream. Some of us are gonna stick around and hang out for a little bit, as we often do. So if you ever want to join us for the after party, that's just us hanging out on a Zoom call. You're more than welcome to do that. If you're really shy and never want to share poetry on a live stream, you're also welcome to share poems there too, because we've had people do that in the past. All right.